Okay, just had a bit of a tidy up, getting ready to think about putting this shower door in, and also making a start on the cab. But just in the meantime, don't worry about the foam on the floor. I've just foamed in some holes, which is ready for the lino to go down. But I just wanted to show them how the bed is going to work. So at the moment, this battery box has got a slide out cover, fingered cover. There are two legs that fit on here and here, which are lying down there. I haven't put them on yet because I want to measure everything up when the flooring is finished, so that I might need to adjust those, although I am thinking of putting some adjustable feet on them. Anyway, the same thing sits over here, so that comes out and will sit there, and obviously the floor level will bring them up together. Oops, like that. And then this is the fold out bed, which we'll just pull out like so, slide its way across. He says making a pig's ear of it. And then the back on this one folds down, cover at the back there. And now, as you can see, we have an extra bed. It's only obviously like a little single, but perfectly adequate if we need an extra one. So yes, at the back we now have a little bit more space there. So the cushions have now gone. I've ordered the new cushions. So we've gone for 35 kilogram per meter firm cushions with a 4 centimeter memory foam topper, which will fit inside the existing covers. So they'll go ready to go on there, and I just need to build the table. So I'm trying to find a piece of suitable sized wood that isn't as too heavy, that we can then make the table out of. But yeah, apart from that, it's all coming together. There's just a few little odds and sods to do, and then I want to get this floor down. I've got that door to put back on over here, but I am still working on the control panel, because I found out yesterday that the sensors for the water, which is down there, and the wastewater, which is under here, aren't working. So I don't know whether it's the chip that's on the little control panel, or whether it's just the sensors themselves are just not clean enough for it to work. So I've got to go and do some work there, clean all that up, and we'll see how we get on with that. But yeah, apart from that, the rest of it is coming along nicely, and we should be able to think about getting out for a trip sometime in March, I think. And we're currently middle of January, so let's crack on, get a bit more done. Okay, a few small jobs today. So that's the cupboard now put in. I've installed, it's just drying at the moment, the cover for the electrics in that box. So that there's done. This drawer's in place, and the kitchen extension. Now, talking of kitchen extensions, I am going to put another one on here. This is a drop down folding hinge that will sit on here. Shouldn't be too much in the way coming in through the door. I will check that. And then behind here I can put some reinforcement for the brackets. I've got a plate up there already. I just need to put a bit extra on there, so that can support another shelf that will come out here and give us a bit more working space in the kitchen. On the cooker top, just down there, this was quite interesting because this had got a couple of these slide out protectors on the cook top, which had these little connectors or brackets to hold these plates. And I looked everywhere, I couldn't find anything suitable. And all of a sudden I remembered that I'd bought those clips to hold the cables in place. Guess what? They're almost identical to the ones. So if anybody ever has one of these from Temu, you can get a box full of these little clips for €1 or €2, and they work perfectly to support it. You can see in the past somebody's obviously not had anything in place, and that's what happens. So now we have 2 fully working covers. Oh, I'm quite pleased with that, even if I say so myself. Right, so I've got one more box cover to do at the back here. For that, I realised that the boxes I'd made were a little bit too small for that, because I've used bolts to hold it in place. So I'm just going to knock up a slightly larger one that will keep those cables in place, and then I can put all the cables back with more of those little cable clips. But yeah, we're getting along quite nicely now. And I just trimmed off some of that polyurethane expanding foam. So the floor's getting ready now. Next job's going to be the shower door, which I'm going to have to trim to size. So I'll give that a little bit of thought, and then we'll start on the cab. So, see you soon. So I've just taken the front door panel off because I want to measure up for speakers. Put 2 of the speakers in the front doors and then 2 in the back. So looking at the space available, this is going to be what I can use. So got a little bit of rust to sort out. That down there is quite bad, but I think it'll clean up with a brush. Need to grease all of the mechanism. A few bits of rust just to sort out on there. Some panels to go on the inside to give me a little bit of insulation. And the rest of it seems to be okay, but that's the space I've got. So I'm going to measure that up and see what I can find to fit, and get those ordered. So just another job on the list. Okay, so just dismantled the driver's side, left-hand drive of course. Just a little bit of painting at the moment, just to there was no rust in there as such, just a couple of little patches that got a bit of surface rust, but whilst it's all off, good idea just to keep it painted. And I've ordered the speakers that are going to go in up here. I've got just enough room there to put a nice little 6-inch speaker. Actually, it'll just be a bit lower to clear the dashboard. So yeah, so that's fine. I have to put a bracing piece across, get a piece of aluminium to brace it. And the only bit of rust really is in these channels, which I've now filled up with paint just to try and stop it from getting any worse. I do need to grease it all. It's not been greased for a long time, but generally speaking, that and the door cards themselves are in very good condition. So I'm very pleased about that. But I'll show you what I've done to the other side, and hopefully that'll make it a little bit quieter. So this is the passenger side. So all of this is the bitumen, sorry, not bitumen, butyl rubber sound deadening. That's the thin stuff that is designed to stop the vibration. And then I've got this, which is going on there as well. That's the noise dampening. So between the 2 of them, we should be fine. And I've got plenty of distance between the framework and the window and the outside of the door there. So plenty of room there to get that in there. The channel on this side is a lot worse than the other side. Obviously the water's just coming down the window and collecting in this. So I'm going to have to clean this out. I tried to put a bit of paint in there, but it's just so crusty. But I don't have any more of those, so I'm just going to clean that up and try and protect it with some paint or a bit of filler or something in there, just to keep it draining well. I don't want the water sitting in there like it's been doing. So anyway, that's another job. As soon as that paint's dry, I'll be able to get in there and clean it all up. Right, let's crack on. See you in a bit. Well, working inside today because it's absolutely chucking it down with rain, and we've got a few days of rain. Anyway, so I've pulled off all the curtains, and they have all now been washed and laundered. And these are the ones for the 2 vertical windows at the front, and of course the threads have all pulled through. That one's not too bad, but this one down here, I've got a little bit of fading on them, but generally speaking, all very, very good condition. And we've got nets as well, very vintage nets, and this is the only one that needs a little bit of repair, so just going to get the needle and cotton out and get those repaired and rethreaded. So that's my job for today. Nothing very exciting, I'm afraid. All right, so see you soon. So, as you can see, we've got some rain today. This is the middle of Storm Chandra coming through. We are quite a long way further south than the centre of it, but it's made everything a bit wet outside anyway. The good news, no visible leaks anywhere, no water anywhere, no damp anywhere, apart from this little connector here, which goes outside. Not quite sure what's happening. I need to get up there and have a look, but it's a very, very, it's not even a drip, it's just a bit damp. The piece of paper I put around it has just gotten a bit sodden overnight, but that's the only place that's affected, so I need to check that when I get outside. Now, so we did get an order today from Temu. They delivered this morning. Got a couple of things. We've got the light now for the bathroom, which is that one there. So I'm going to put that up in a minute. And I've also decided that I didn't like the diesel heater installation because I have put a piece of pipe down to protect the distance between the wooden floor and the floor of the actual chassis cab, the metal floor, just a piece of pipe there to keep the heat away. But I've decided I'm going to do the job properly. So this one came from, this was AliExpress actually. They were about 17 euros, I think, delivered. Anyway, that's going to go underneath the heater, and that's going to have proper protection then. So we've got to redo that. But of course, I've got to wait for the rain to stop before we can get underneath to disconnect everything down there, just redo that. So that's for a future episode. And then on top of that, I've got some little stick-up lights. Not quite sure where these are going to go yet, but I think they're probably going to go in the under the cabinet underneath the storage compartment. Thank you. Couldn't think what it's called. Anyway, they come with little remote controls and are very bright, extremely bright. 2 levels of dimness. They're just battery operated, so I don't need to connect them up into any power or anything. And that'll just give me some illumination down there for when things are in storage. So that's a job to do in a bit. The rest of it is looking pretty bare because I've now taken down all of the curtains. They were all washed and a couple of holes sewn up on them. They're all looking good. And I've got to sort these blinds out now. I'm going to take the blinds out and give them a good clean as well. But again, got to wait for the rain to stop. So at the moment, it's just a case of getting the light fitted up on the top here. And we'll see how we get on with that. So I'll see you in a bit. There it is in. A couple more screws to put up there. And because it's in the shower, I've used solid brass screws as opposed to the brass plated ones that I've got elsewhere, simply because of the moisture that's likely to be in this compartment. But this one is quite nice. It's adjustable temperature, so bright white or variations thereof, and it's adjustable in brightness, so very bright if you need it to be. So excellent, nice bit of light, quite cheap. Again, good old Temu. Don't know how I could do it without you. Saved me literally thousands in doing it this way. A bit sad, that's the way it is. I'm surprised by the number of items that I find on Temu that I also find on some of the normal websites. obviously they're just buying them in from the same Chinese suppliers, marking them up, and I suppose that's the way of the world. Anyway, that's in now. On to the next one.